Now for the moment that we have been waiting for. Are we ready? You all don't sound ready. Are we ready? All right, a little better. You all could do probably a little better than that, but I'll take it. So I will be reading the final 2022 Women's Forest Congress Declaration. So each table has a copy of the declaration, but you will also see up on the screens, we have the QR code. So if you would like to take a picture of the QR code, you're more than welcome to do so. And I'll give you a few seconds to do that before I begin. I will begin to read the declaration. Please follow with me. We, the Women's Forest Congress, convene on October 17th through 20th, 2022, with nearly 500 participants from 38 U.S. states, 3 Canadian provinces, and 8 additional nations. Make the following declaration in light of the unique moment in which we stand. We recognize and acknowledge the following. Responsible and sustainable forest management plays an intrinsic role in clean air and water, recreation, and biodiversity, and the products and services of the forest affect all people throughout their lives. Moreover, sustaining and promoting the functions and values of forests requires holistic and integrated thinking about the complex relationships on which these systems depend. Women are essential to the care of forests, provide leadership, and are catalysts. Diverse women's perspectives are even more valuable as new and innovative solutions are sought for our greatest forest challenges. The impacts of historic and systemic discrimination on traditionally marginalized groups, including people of color and women, trans, non-binary, and gender non-conforming people, and especially the history of displacement through gentrification and genocide on indigenous and tribal nations. This discrimination has limited access and advancement and contributed to marginalization. Theme number 1, leadership for equity and inclusion. The forest and forest products sector currently lacks gender balance and representation. As of 2019, women represented just 16% of forestry and conservation professionals in the U.S. as a whole. Women and people of color are significantly underrepresented, underserved, and historically excluded. Thus, these perspectives are likely to occupy a minority share of existing answers and be missing in leadership and C-suites. Gender parity, including intersectional parity, leads to a more sustainable forest and forest product sector. Issues of equal access, discrimination, sexual harassment, assault, microaggressions, lack of support, and mentorship opportunities must be addressed. We need comfortable, safe, inviting, and welcoming work environments. Black, Indigenous, and other women of color have needs, requirements, challenges, and experiences that white women do not share. Theme number 2, supporting each other. Women are exemplary, focused, resilient, and effective leaders and engage in promoting healthy living and work environments, thereby strengthening our capacity and capabilities. Addressing the complex and multifaceted relationships characteristic of forest ecosystems serves as inspiration in supporting each other. Women are caregivers within communities and families and need to remember to prioritize mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual health to strengthen the ability to cope with daily stresses and, at the same time, model healthy behaviors for those around us. Forest-based solutions must be inclusive of the perspectives of family owners, smallholders, forest communities, indigenous people, women, and youth, and respectful of their rights. Indigenous and tribal nations impacted by a history of displacement, genocide, and cultural genocide hold traditional ways of knowing that have historically been devalued and deserve to be elevated and included in decision-making and sustainable forest value chains. Theme number 3, workforce opportunities. Equity and inclusion are a path forward as the best way to diversify the talent and creativity needed to address the most critical issues and amplify the opportunities for positive change in the forest and forest product sector. The sight of a diverse and representative leadership, including at the executive suite and board levels, is a source of inspiration and motivation for a more diverse talent pool to consider the forest and forest product sector as a career goal or next step. Theme number 4, catalysts for change. Research and place-based knowledge provide evidence that inclusive practices and diverse work environments support creativity. Approaching issues through an inclusive lens can lead to longer-term perspectives that support innovation. When all views are taken into account and valued, women can provide a unique perspective to develop forward-thinking recommendations and actions. The lack of women's perspectives leaves a void in the forest and forest product sector. Limiting professional participation by women and marginalized groups restricts opportunities to think about forests in new ways. Gender parity, including intersectional parity, leads to a more sustainable sector and climate. Theme number 5, greatest forest challenges. The challenges facing forests are diverse and include a loss of forest resiliency, disrupted disturbance regimes, wildland-urban interface conflict, transformative market dynamics, political polarization, climate change, and a lack of understanding and trust in forest management. The world is relying on the forest and forest product sector to provide solutions to global environmental change. The necessary innovations of today and tomorrow will require interdisciplinary collaboration, creative execution, and the inclusion of a wide range of skills, abilities, perspectives, and talents. Forests are dynamic and variable across multiple spatial and temporal scales, and taking a longer term, broader scale, and inclusive perspective is critical for addressing the greatest forest challenge. We have the science, experience, and technical expertise, but we need to tap into the hearts and minds of people. Gonna take a drink of water and I will continue. We resolve to theme number 1, leadership for equity and inclusion. Advance our mission and seek to provide all women a space to listen, be seen and heard, and act for the benefit of forests and the forest and forest product sector. Develop the capacity and the space to pursue our mission with an organizational structure, accountability, and participation that support values of diversity, inclusion, equity, and access. Educate leaders in the forest and forest product sector on cultural awareness, unconscious bias, and how to be an effective ally and active bystander. spotlight and amplify Black, Indigenous, and other women of color needs, requirements, challenges, experiences, and voices. Be an open and inclusive group within which trans, non-binary, and gender non-conforming participants, including all members of the LGBTQIA2S+ community, and all ages, perspectives, backgrounds, geographic locations, professional levels, abilities, experiences, and education are celebrated and able to contribute based on their unique experiences and expertise. Unleash the power of inclusive leadership in the forest and forest product sector by inviting, welcoming, and mentoring leaders of all ages, colors, perspectives, and backgrounds. Collaborate with forest-related initiatives globally to advance the common cause for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Document, report, and measure success on goals for representation and leadership for women in the sector with an objective of greater than 33% women throughout the sector and greater than 25% women in C-suite positions by 2050. Yes, yes, yes. This is giving me goosebumps. Theme number 2, supporting each other. Foster and establish systems for supporting each other, including training, mentorships, educational services, health and wellness, and human resource advancements. Gather and tell our stories to ensure that learning diverse perspectives continues as a shared value. Invite colleagues, allies, and contacts to join our efforts to foster vulnerability and connectivity. Ensure forests and the sector are safe, inviting, and welcoming spaces for all. Support those who report or discuss acts or threats of physical, mental, or emotional violence, and allow workplaces to benefit from greater employee wellness. Another round of applause. Yeah, there we go. This is a celebration. Y'all are dead. This is a celebration. All right, theme number 3, workforce opportunities. Create a community of outreach and a network of organizations across the forest and forest product sector, including research and educational institutions, corporations, NGOs, and the public sector to achieve recruitment, retention, replacement, and advancement goals. Yes. Empower women in all levels and positions of the forest and forest product sector. Share experiences for retaining and advancing welcoming work environments. And generate and enact innovative ideas for increasing recruitment, retention, and advancement. Promote the variety of working environments in the sector, whether field, classroom, or lab, rural, suburban, or urban, or home, office-based, or hybrid, whether in solo adventures or on big teams. Theme number 4, catalyst for change. Intentionally identify and prepare more women for leadership positions. Reimagine frameworks and processes in order to bring a full diversity of impacted peoples and perspectives, including building the structures for greater participation. Advocate for workplace systems that enable all people to be healthy, whole, and equitably compensated. Advance intersectional policies that create pathways for transformative and embolden women leaders in the sector. Promote the, come on, bring it on, I love it. Be my hype woman. Come on. Promote the following women's best practices for conferences and events so that the unique features of our Congress are captured and documented in a way that can be used to inform future events in the sector. Leverage the use of personal experiences so that the effectiveness of gaining knowledge through storytelling and vulnerability is understood and expected. Build strong mentorship and peer networks to deepen unity, promote development, and support cross collaboration. Create environments that support holistic health, including asking about and addressing special accommodations for attendees. And theme number 5, greatest forest challenges. Demonstrate a change in how forest challenges are addressed to include system thinking, collaborative leadership models, multiple temporal and spatial scales, and holistic solutions. Foster a climate of innovation to tackle the social, environmental, and economic challenges within the forest and forest product sector with the goal of not only solving the biggest problems, but also first insisting that we identify and intentionally engage the voices missing from the conversation as we design and implement the solutions. Commit to supporting, adequately resourcing, and sharing information on forest health, carbon storage, and sequestration, and other critical data that address the greatest forest challenges of today and tomorrow. Communicate and value the many interconnected facets of the forest and the forest product sector through transparent, authentic, and inspirational messaging that highlights the sector's role in conserving and restoring our planet's most sustainable and renewable resource, benefiting people, nature, and climate. Encourage the endorsement of international efforts, such as the principles of the UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration and commitments adopted at the 2022 World Forestry Congress. Yeah, come on, we gotta get a little hype than this. Come on. Yes. Now, before I read the final call to action, I invite you all to stand if you're able and willing. And after each challenge statement, I invite you to respond with the words, "The time is now," and take one step forward toward the front of the room if you desire. All right? All right. The Women's Forest Congress challenges organizations in the forest and forest product sector to, number 1, foster workforce opportunities for all women through mentorship programs, professional development, scholarships, etc., with a particular focus on reaching out to those who need help or are asking for assistance in any part of their journey. Number 2, now is the time. Yes, now is the time. Yes, thank you, Katie. Let's do it again in unison. Now. Yes, that sounds so much better. Thank you. Number 2, broaden recruiting practices to include wider networks and build a pipeline of talent by connecting with and showcasing forests and the forest and forest product sector to youth and students, creating job shadowing and internships opportunities, etc. Yes, it's the time. Number 3, build workplace systems that support mental health coverage and include training and programs promoting healthy lifestyles, such as family leave, flexible work schedules, generous vacation plans, social opportunities, and holistic wellness programs. Now is the time, it sounds like. Yes. Number 4, promote a variety of working environments, encourage flexibility, and ensure all work environments are fully accessible. Now is the time. Number 5, enable employees to prioritize mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual health and model healthy behaviors for others. Now is the time. Number 6, create a safe, inviting, and welcoming workspace for all, resulting in greater wellness, increased retention, higher productivity, improved creativity, and heart-centered decision-making. Now is the time. Number 7, assess compensation for women and promote paths to pay equity at all levels, including discrepancies in intersectional identities, communities, and demographics. Now is the time. Yes. Number 8, intentionally identify and support more women and those from underrepresented groups to achieve leadership positions. Now is the time. Number 9, increase the use of storytelling in conferences, trainings, and workshops. Now is the time. And number 10, apply models and frameworks to generate and realize solutions to the greatest forest challenges that are built on women's strengths, such as inclusive, collaborative, and multi-scale holistic thinking. Thank you. You all please stay standing up, please. So the participation of the 2022 Women's Forest Congress, our supporters and partners commit ourselves to advance these actions through our organization, networks, partnerships, and spheres of influence. Do we commit to our call to action? I need a little more. And finally, I am asking for your endorsement of the Women's Forest Congress resolution by raising the roof. So if you endorse this resolution, can we all raise the roof together? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Attendees, please join the delegates and me in a round of applause for the endorsement of the 2022 Women's Forest Congress Declaration. Yes. Congratulations to us all. This is the time, and we are the ones to do the work. And this is only the beginning. Thank you all so much, and you may take your seats. So we did it. Let's get to work on all that comes next. Ladies, the Women's Forest Congress Steering Committee and Advisory Council have heard you. And we will all work together to advance the declaration created and endorsed by this Congress. Watch for opportunities to invite additional endorsements and pledges of support and actions to be taken by individuals and organizations to advance the vision of the Women's Forest Congress. Also, watch for the continued evolution of the Women's Forest Congress organization, as we will be seeking nominations for new members for the steering committee and for the advisory committee in the new year, and explore the strengthening and nurturing of our structure and operations. But before we adjourn, I would like to do a toast. And we have some drinks that are coming around, so It's non-alcoholic. Don't get too excited. Y'all were getting very excited. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? I'm going to wait until everyone gets their cup, and then we will have a toast to adjourn. Everyone have their cup? All right. I need everyone to put their cup in the air for a toast. To the Women's Forest Congress, for all we have done and have yet to do, for all who have done the work before us and created our opportunities for yesterday, today, and tomorrow. This is the time, and we are the ones. Let's share our cheer together. This is the time, and we are the ones. This is the time, and we are the ones. This is the time, and we are the ones. Toast. Cheers.